Children with critical illness have a right to live a life of their own choosing that they have reason to value, and the gateway for that in large part is mathematics.
Critically ill children can miss out on weeks or months of school. UCF's Dr. Megan Nichols is dedicated to helping children keep on track and learn mathematics through robotics.
When I met Dr. Nichols, my grades were low at the time, and she helped me learn more things with the robots and math, and it just helped my grades go to from really low to A+.
In addition to education, the robot sessions serve as a distraction and provide encouragement.
I'm thinking about the robots and I'm not thinking about the chemo, and it just really helps a lot.
Dr. Nichols' pioneering work on how children learn mathematics and her passion for ensuring critically ill children get an effective education make her one to know in Central Florida. While many Floridians steer clear of reptiles, the passionate handlers at the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens embrace them.
It's a beautiful snake. You'll get to take a look at how rough those scales actually are. I'm Kevin Koff. I work here at Central Florida Zoo. I'm the senior ectotherm keeper. You know, my mom would bring me down to the creek, catch turtles and stuff like that. And, you know, pretty soon I got that nickname Swamp Boy in high school. Instead of wanting to play basketball and football, I was out in the swamps catching turtles and frogs and studying them and learning about them.
The indigo snake is, as you can see, is not a true constrictor. I love reptiles. They're one of my favorite species. Snakes, alligators, turtles, lizards, they're all really cool and love talking about them. My neighbor used to have a snake, and my parents used to crack up when I would say, I want to go play with my neighbor's snake. I guess that's not normal. Once you hold a snake and you get over that, it's a really cool animal to interact with.
The role of the Central Florida Zoo staff goes beyond cleaning cages.
You're gonna have to move over, buddy. Male lizard's so lazy. We have the blue caiman iguanas, only 58 in the country. Breeding these guys is a priority. When she was gravid with eggs, she was bright blue, and he was even bluer, and he had some red flecks that came down here. But this is the normal color you'll see a blue rock iguana, if you were lucky enough to see one in the Cayman Islands.
What we want to do at the zoo is help to educate our guests about exotic or endangered animals or native animals and how they can help play a role in conservation. What I have here is an eastern indigo snake. This snake is found right here in Florida, but they are a threatened species. Their population needs our help. We actually operate an off-site conservation center where we're breeding indigo snakes and re-releasing them out into the wild.
Use that tongue the same way a snake would, to smell. We're working with crocodile monitors. We're trying to breed those right now. They're boreal. Boreal means found only up in the trees. They rarely come down to the ground. They use this wonderfully long tail. They'll actually wrap it around stuff and hold on as a fifth leg. They're a really cool creature. It's great to be able to actually work this close with these guys.
Crocodilians are not a species to mess with, but Andrew, a reptile handler, doesn't mind spending lunch with crocodiles.
When you guys do take a look at this guy, you'll notice he has a long, pointy nose, whereas alligators have a broad snout, and that all has to do with what they eat. Come and get it. Come and get it. You hear that jaw pop? Crocodilians actually have the strongest jaws in the entire animal kingdom. Very, very powerful.
So you're here to watch the Venom Show.
The zoo's daily Venom Show is a chance for visitors to see deadly reptiles slither and for handlers to share facts about these valuable critters.
These here are found right here in Central Florida. This is the largest rattlesnake species in the United States.
Venom is at the leading edge of medical science. I bring this up with copperheads. Their venom is actually being used to treat breast cancer.
Feed them rats that we get sent
The reptile crazy staff at the Central Florida Zoo sees each workday as a chance to help their beloved species.
We reward them with a little snack. At the end of the day, I feel great when I get that message out and I feel like I've hit someone. Someone sticks around after an educational show for a little while and they talk to me for 30 minutes, you know you got them.
It's really great to see people actually be inspired, to hear them say, never heard of this animal, that's really cool.
We want to save these animals, we want to protect them. We want you guys to want to do that too.
It's an animal that doesn't look like you. Animals that we find creepy, they're not creepy. They do serve a purpose and we need them.
The history of America's favorite pastime is on display in museums across the nation. But no one demonstrates the game's beginnings better than the vintage baseball players of Central Florida.
This is a gentleman's game. First rule is no cursing, no swearing. Today we're playing what we call vintage baseball. We play either 1860s rules or 1880s rules. Our teams are equipped with the equipment of that time period as well as the uniforms.
Playing the Dunedin Railers today. Never played them, don't know what we're up against, but I have confidence in this squad. I love how just raw it is. It's how baseball began.
There's no manual for vintage baseball. Many of the players call on historical sources so they can accurately recreate the game.
We pitch underhand. We don't wear gloves. We didn't have gloves back in the day. Its biggest challenge is learning how to field without a glove. It was definitely more of a fielder's glory sort of game. During the Civil War, the soldiers' way of getting some R&R was to play baseball. They play in prison camps, they play in their own Union, Confederate camps, and they just played the game. Once the war ended, people migrated down the South and they brought the game with them.
I've done a lot of research, mainly just looking up old newspaper articles. Found the team that was in City Point, which is over by Titusville. We liked the name because it was awkward, and we're pretty much an awkward team with our different levels of skill. The other old team I found from Orlando was called the Fat Men, and I didn't think we'd like to play under that name. Awkward seemed to suit us.
The game's historic appeal attracts other reenactors of the era.
That's a Carger! Well run!
We're from Central Florida, so we're rooting for the Awkwards.
I heard about this vintage baseball group, so I thought it would be a really good opportunity to come out and watch the game. Put some steam on it!
The players' equipment is mostly handmade. Ted makes baseballs and by chance stumbled upon a local craftsman to supply the bats.
Jeremy and I made a wrong turn and drove by his house. His mailbox had bats as the stand, so we just decided to stop in his house. The worst he's going to tell us is get off my property. So as soon as we saw his lathe and equipment, we just ordered bats right away for the team.
One old style bat, vintage.
In addition to the awkward mix of skill levels, vintage baseball welcomes gentlemen of all ages.
I love baseball. Well, I started when I was about 10 years old playing baseball. Can't move very well anymore, but he needed an extra hand, so I thought I'd come out and catch an inning or two.
Where are you playing? I'll probably be playing at a third short.
It's a little different, it's a little fun, and now my son's a player on this team as well.
I decided to go to the vintage baseball practice, see what it was like. I've never played before. I've watched him play. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Well played, gents.
The Awkwards take home the victory, but neither team forgets why they play.
You're there to play a gentlemanly game.
The guys are really playing for the heart. Because it's so different, it's so enjoyable, it's competitive, but yet it's fun at the same time.
This is pure baseball. There's no drugs or steroids or anything like that involved. There's no money involved. We just come out here and have fun. Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!